One Journey in Review. I'm doing a live from Captain Clay's, by far one of my favorite seafood places. Just wanted to give you a quick look. I'm going to go on in and you'll see all sorts of fresh fish. Maybe if we're lucky, the captain will be there and talk to us because he's quite the chef, and maybe he could give us some pointers. So thank you everybody for joining me on this live. We're entering the counter. I'm going to get a quick picture of the counter. There you go, so you can see all the good stuff that they have. Oh good, they have some swordfish left. Lots of snapper and grouper, pompano, tilefish, red snapper, snowy grouper, all kinds of snapper, yellowjack, amberjack, lots of different kinds of salmon, cod, halibut, wahoo. They have their specials on the board there. And let's see there. Hello. Hi, I'm Laura. I'm doing my live from here. I hope you don't mind. I got permission from one of your people. I have a channel that does health and wellness along with weight loss. And I want to show them all the great seafood from Captain Clay's in Delray Beach. If you happen to be in the area, please stop by. We have the captain himself here, who is quite the chef himself. Maybe he could give us some pointers on healthy types of fish and what's the best fish to get. I see. My favorite one is always, I love swordfish.
Swordfish, you can do that 3 ways. As thick as this is, I can put it down to 2 ways.
Okay.
Either on the grill, awesome on the grill, or in the oven.
Okay.
When you cook it in the oven, make sure there's a rack right under the broiler. Preheat it to about 375, 400. Then you slide the swordfish right on. You put a little oil on the bottom of the pan so it doesn't stick. You're not going to be flipping it.
Okay, good.
You slide it right in underneath the broiler, but you bake it. This is about 1.25 inches. That's about a 12 to 15 minute cook time. So you bake it for about 6.5, 7 minutes, and then you just turn the dial over to broil.
Okay.
You finish it up on the broiler. The heat from on top will hit the fat that comes up, renders itself out of the fish.
Awesome.
It'll turn it a nice glazed, tannish, brownish color. And it tastes so good. Salt, pepper is all you need. It's very fresh.
Perfect. I'm going to get a piece big enough for 2.
When you get it in 15 minutes, that's your minimum cook time.
Okay.
You take a sharp, thin knife, similar to this one. With your fingertips, not a heavy-handed thing. With your fingertips, go right into the meat. When it's well done, it'll go right down and hit the pan. No hesitation. If it's not cooked all the way, when you go to it, it'll have some resistance.
Good
At that
tip.
point, I look at it and see if it's all the darkness I want. I don't want it darker. I put it back on bake. If I say, well, it's still kind of light, it can get a little more color, I'll just shove it back right under the broiler.
Awesome.
Give it a couple minutes and try it again. When it does go down, it'll be perfect. You'll love it.
Awesome. So I'll start with some swordfish. I'll look around and pick out my next fish after that. Any recommendations?
I have lots of recommendations. Everything here is good. Whatever you'd like to do. The grouper you cook one way, the snapper you cook a different way. Pompano, the skin on the pompano is excellent. When I cook that, I make sure that I use slightly hotter fires. So I give color to the first side, which makes it taste really good. Salt and pepper again is all you need. It's super fresh. Then put it on the skin side, which I also salt and pepper. And I turn the heat up under the skin side because it's thin. You don't want it to overcook. Because it's an oilier fish, even if it does overcook a little bit, it'll still taste great.
Have to try some of that. I've had pompano. I love pompano. That's my next favorite.
The snapper, I might just do in butter. If you're cooking with butter, you have to do it a little bit differently. You have to start on a no-stick pan, very, very low. The lowest your stove can go, otherwise you'll burn your butter. If you're cooking rice or anything else, you have to time it. Rice, for instance, takes about 20 minutes in a rice cooker. Potatoes about the same time. Pasta takes longer, so you have to have those other things going. Your vegetable will probably take about 3 to 5 minutes in the steamer. So you have your pot off to the side, but you have the water kind of going a little bit, so that when you turn it up, it's ready to steam right away.
Awesome.
So a fillet such as this will take about 5 to 6 minutes. That's about a 7-ounce fillet.
Okay.
As soon as you put it down, you put salt and pepper on it, take the skin off the other side so it's both sides can get some coloring to it. As soon as you put it on the pan, you turn it up to medium high, and you're going to cook it all the way through on that side. As it cooks, it turns white. When that white's almost all the way up the top and just a little bit of clearness left in the fish, you flip it over. At that point, you take your rice, you take your vegetables out, put them on the plate, and you scoop the fish out. If it has any butter on there at all, I don't recommend putting too much butter, but if there is anything to drain it a little on the side of the pan and then put it on your plate. Perfect.
Awesome. So I know I'm going to get some swordfish and some pompano. Do you recommend tilefish?
Tilefish is excellent. Sometimes I use panko on that one, depending if it's a thinner fillet. I'll cook it just the way I recommend it on the snapper, with just a little oil or a little butter, salt and pepper. If you're doing panko, you'd want to put a little bit of oil in the pan. It's not swimming in oil, but you want to cover the bottom of the pan with oil. You put salt and pepper on, you put the panko on, shake it out over the sink so that there's no excess panko. So you don't want to put it in the oil and have panko floating around in there. You're going to have that to a lesser degree anyhow. Minimize that. You put it in the pan, now it's medium high. It's not like the butter that has to get up the heat. It's already hot. And if you're not sure whether it's hot enough, you hold your fillet and you put it down into the pan and watch it bubble out. If it's bubbling the way you expect it to, then just lay the fillet in there. When I do that, this is optional. I also add a little butter on the sides, and I look at the outside edge of the fish. When it starts turning that golden color that I want to present to my guest, that's the time I'm going to flip it over. But I still look first to see how high up the white has come. If it's halfway up, I'll turn it over and cook it just a little bit less than the first half, because now it's super hot. When you first put it in, the fillet is cold, so it takes a little longer to get hot. Now everything's hot, a little less on the second side. As soon as it's done like that, I lean it on the side of the pan with my spatula until I'm satisfied that the oil is off, and then I put it right on the plate.
Perfect. Sounds great. Any other white fishes that you recommend?
There's a lot of white fish down here. There's some thicker grouper. Thicker grouper I would not cook in a pan like that.
Okay.
It's too long. I do it in the oven or on the grill. And when you're cooking a thicker piece of fish, that knife testing thing is worth its weight in gold. When I cooked in the hotel and there was a ton of fish around, I'd be cooking other stuff, and the girl would come and say, table 7 is ready for their fish. I'd grab the knife and poke, and okay, that one's ready, poke, that one's ready. And that's how I do it. It's ready. That knife fish is worth its weight in gold.
Does the shop have a #1 selling fish?
The yellowtail snapper is one of our best-selling fish.
That's my favorite.
Swordfish is one of our best-selling fish. The swordfish is coming right out here. The guys call up in the morning, I'm going out fishing. Would you like swordfish? Yes, we would. It shows up at the end of the day. That's day-old swordfish. It doesn't get any better than that.
Well, I appreciate all your help with this interview, so I'm going to end this live and buy my fish. Anybody, if you're in Delray Beach or anywhere around Delray Beach, please come to Captain Clay's Seafood. His website is captainclaysseafood.com. Please join us. Please come in if you're in the area. Please check out the website. He's on Facebook. He also gives tips on how to cook on there. So please check it out, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.